Hey guys, Brian Connolly here with episode 2 of our new series, or I should say our new season of these prophetic videos, these now and not yet videos. And we started season 2 last week by beginning to lay a foundation of what I believe a healthy and effective prayer life looks like. And so what I'm going to be doing over this entire season is not just talk about prayer, but also model prayer, share my own personal journey concerning prayer with you, ways that I pray. But like I said, we want to lay, at least I do, I want to lay down a healthy foundation of what does it mean to go get alone with God before we even get to the methods of prayer and how do you pray and what should I be saying and what should I be thinking about and what should I be doing during that time. And I know that there's countless books, countless resources out there on this topic, but I'm still a firm believer that when it comes to prayer, when it comes to worship, when it comes to things that we consider to be so elementary and so fundamental, there's so many people that are still scratching their heads and wondering, am I doing this the right way? Because it's so easy just to tell somebody, go get alone, go close the door, go be with God, but then they get in there and they're just like, well, now what? Now I'm here, now what do I do? So last week we were talking about the strength of my prayer life, and I used the story about my wife's grandmother and how she asked me about my prayer life and how can you pray all these hours, and I talked about Song of Solomon chapter 7 verse 10, where the Lord spoke to me and said, this is the strength of your prayer life, that you actually believe that I desire you, that you settled that in your heart a long time ago, because that verse actually reads, I am. So there's a definitive statement being made there. There's an identity being made and spelled out that I am my beloved's and his desire is for me. But what I want to talk to you today about is what does the process even look like when you go and actually get alone with God? And I want to take you to Hebrews chapter 11. I preach out of this chapter quite often, and out of this verse actually in verse 6. Where the writer says this, and without faith it is impossible to please him, which sounds like a strong statement. This is what the writer is wanting to, the point he's trying to make here, is the Father has always wanted people that would hear and believe, hear and obey. And I believe you can actually break the entire Bible down to Old and New, down to people that heard God and they were obedient. They heard God and they acted accordingly. In fact, that's what this whole chapter is about, are people that heard the word of the Lord and they were obedient. Even Jesus made the comment, this is the work of God. John chapter 6, he says, this is the work of God, that you would believe him. So the point that the writer is about to make here is faith is required even in coming to him. The fact that you are actually going to get alone in a room, or the fact that you're turning your attention to God in your car. See, a lot of time we make it all about, well, you got to go find this quiet place, and I'm all for that. I am all for silence, the atmosphere, like setting the mood, however you want to say it. I am all for just doing whatever you feel is necessary to help you enter in to that still quiet place. But I'm a realistic guy, and I understand people have responsibilities. There's things that they're doing. They've got kids, they've got jobs, they've got all kinds of different things going on. And I believe that prayer can be a conscious thing where it's all about where you're setting your mind. And I believe you can do that whether you're in the car, in the shower, you just take 5 minutes, you're eating lunch by yourself. Your mind can drift to the one who's pleased by your faith. Even that's an act of faith, that you're choosing to set your mind there, to meditate there and think about God. So faith is required. Otherwise you wouldn't even be going to get alone with him. Either God's real and he's with you in that place and you believe this is of benefit, or it's not and you're just some crazy person. So without faith it is impossible to please him, for he who comes to God must believe that he is, we're going to camp there for a minute, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. So this is what I would like to say about that verse, is for you to come to God, it is so imperative that you and I know who God is. It is so important that even when Philip said this to Jesus in John chapter 14, he said, show us the Father and it is enough for us. So there's this cry within the human heart to want to know who God is and what he's like. Show us the Father and it's enough for us. And Jesus said this, and you could hear the groaning of his heart. He wasn't disappointed, he wasn't frustrated, but there's this thing inside of him that wanted people, and the people that he's walking with, for 3 years, these 12 disciples, there was a point he was wanting to make to them, and wanting, there was many reasons why he came: to preach the kingdom, to seek and save that which was lost, to destroy the works of the devil. But one of the primary reasons that he came was found in this statement. He said, have I been with you this long and you still don't know me? So there is something about there is a strength that comes to your prayer life when you know God the right way. And what you know to be true about Jesus is who God is. He has plainly made known who the Father is. He's the image of the invisible God, Colossians 1:15 says. So without faith it's impossible to please God, and when coming to Him you must believe that He is. And it's more than just the fact that He exists, and I get that He is, you know, He's there, that He's real, that, you know, all that stuff, I get that. But it's that you and I believe that He is who He says He is, that He really is the God that loves you, that He is the God who has forgiven you, that He is the God who came into the garden and did not say, "What did you do?" but said, "Where are you?" That He is the God that first made you for the reason why you're getting alone. He is the God that made you so that you would commune with Him, that you would walk with Him. It's like I say, one of the reasons why, the main reason why God created Adam was so that God could walk with somebody, that God could talk. Not that he needed that, but there's something about when you and your essence is love, you create, when you're loved, there's things that you create so that you can pour yourself into. You create objects that can be loved, that you can pour yourself in and watch love be multiplied. So it's imperative that you and I, by faith, begin to take God for who He is, who He makes Himself out to be. And this is what I believe. I believe that as you begin to really know God the right way through the life of Jesus, this is a God you want to come to. This is a God you want to spend time with, and that is made evident through another favorite passage of mine. That's the whole reason why the woman with the alabaster vial is coming with appreciation with that vial of perfume, because she already knows before she gets there. The whole reason why she's bringing that alabaster vial is because she believes that she's forgiven. She believes that so much so that Jesus looks at her and tells Simon the Pharisee, look, the whole reason why she's doing this is because she who is forgiven much loves much. But before Jesus even said that, she's already in this act, which means she already saw that as her reality, which is why she came in the first. She could not wait to get there and find and be with the one that came to forgive her, love her, and bring her back into the family. So another just, I guess I could say, aspect of strength to my prayer life is not only do I understand and believe that God desires me, I believe, and I know that I'm still growing in this area, there are certain things that I believe about Him by faith. I do believe that He rewards those that seek Him. And I do believe that He is who He's made Himself out to be through His Son. So when you go get alone with Him, this is one of the most powerful things you can do, is you can go get alone with God and just begin to meditate on what you know to be true about your relationship with Him, about who He is. He is a Father. He is the one who accepts you. He is the one who's redeemed you. He is the one who's made you righteous. He is the one that will never leave you or forsake you. He is the one who's madly and passionately in love with you. And He is the one who wants to be with you more than you want to be with Him. It's why He made you in the first place, to hear His voice, to be obedient, to grow in fellowship with Him, and to reveal His glory on the earth. So when you go get alone with Him, not only just meditate on the fact that He desires you, start to allow to become really big inside of you who He is, and because that, you'll want to be with Him in the same way that the woman with the alabaster vial did. So we will come back next week and revisit this and continue to lay a healthy foundation. Bless you guys. Love you. Enjoy your prayer time. Go get alone with God and do yourself a favor. We'll see you next week.